Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. Today, I have the great honor to bring back again Kathleen Scherek, only because she shares such fabulous information and we never answer all of the questions. So I just want to remind you who Kathleen is. Kathleen Scherek is an award-winning educator, author, White House recognized consultant to top companies, and a sacred parenting coach. She mentors pregnant and new parents, grandparents, and child professionals who care for young children in the first 7 years of life. For more than 30 years, Kathleen has studied neuroscience, child development, energy psychology, vibrational health, quantum physics, and world religions. She has been a top international consultant to Fortune 200 executives, receiving commendations in the United States White House for her role in improving organizational performance in the United States. That's just wild, that sentence by itself. She is a former university associate dean who has advised both the Walton and Gates Foundations about innovation in education. She carries several graduate degrees in education and public administration. Kathleen co-founded a Montessori-based school that serves thousands of families and is a founding board trustee of several foundations. Kathleen, welcome and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hi, Nada. I feel so honored to be able to be here talking about such important things with you and sharing with your listeners. I welcome these conversations with you.
Thank you. Yeah, because they're powerful. They're things that we just don't think about. I think we go through life, we become parents, we parent as best as we can, we send the kids off, they get to school, they get married, they go off and they parent and they do it the same way their parents did it. And of course, we're doing it how it was handed down from generations. And really none of us know what the hell we're doing. We're just kind of muddling our way through, doing the best that we can possibly do. And so this information is so powerful because it just gives you another way to do it that literally, truly empowers you as the parent. And as we talked about in last week's show, how it empowers the grandparent and the child, the most important person in this. Well, they're all important, but the little ones, because they're going through the formative years. And so we want to do it in a way that's very empowering to them. So I'm so grateful for the work that you do and all of your background, because this isn't just hocus pocus. This is well studied and educational. So today, what I want to dive in with you, last week we talked about sacred grandparenting. So listeners, if you missed that, please go back to last week and catch up with that because it's phenomenal. And this week we're going to talk about sacred parenting and working moms. So because, right, I believe that happened to you. I know it happened to me. I was a working mom and had little ones, and it's not easy to do. And the first question that I want to pose to you is, once a family brings in, and maybe even a mom, because I know that was what happened to me. I had very little children, and I was divorced, so I was a single mom doing this. Once a new baby or the young child is in the family, the parents often have professional work or jobs that are outside of the home, and they need to integrate that with their new life. So how can those new parents or new mothers apply the sacred parenting to this to be a better parent?
Well, all parents have experience a major life change, a major transition when a new baby comes into the family, no matter how the baby comes, whether it's adoption, whether it's surrogate, whether it's a family friend that you are an aunt or if you're an aunt or an uncle, or whether it's through our own birth process. And so the changes that come have to be expected. I mean, we know from research at the Gottman Institute, that which is a well-known relationship institute, studying relationship research for many, many years, that 2/3 of parents experience a significant drop in the satisfaction of their relationship in the first year after the birth of a child. Mothers usually experience it earlier. Yep. And fathers usually experience it a little later, like going into the second year of the new baby. But this is one reason why it's important to just recognize, number one, that family dynamics are getting ready to change. And yes, they are changing. And the more that we can cultivate three things. Number one, our own inner resources, our own inner reserves through the pregnancy process, whether we are the ones that are pregnant or someone else is, that we will then be the beautiful recipient of a new life into our family. Whether we are the one, our own inner resources can be developed during that time to just prepare. We can never know exactly what it's going to be like. We have to live it. But we can prepare ourselves to be open, to be in a spot of reception. And that's what women's roles are often, is to be in a receiving position. And a lot of us, Nada, a lot of us women are not very good at receiving. And especially women that may have attained a certain level of professional status, professional work in their business environment, entrepreneurial moms, those kinds of things. And I'm not saying fathers don't matter at all. I am saying, though, that professional moms in particular have their own unique set of circumstances that they're dealing with. When I was young, I worked in a factory, Nada. And factory workers are important. Yeah, I did that. I did the piecework and everything. It's really important because people are receiving products that you're putting together. And there just are differences. So that work is extremely important. Any work that we offer in the world, any contribution that we're making is important work for the individuals that are offering it. Moms who are in a business situation of some professionalism have some unique characteristics they're dealing with. And they're not only faced with a new family now, but they are accustomed to working in a business environment that gets results. They are responsible for results. And here, the whole process of pregnancy is a process. And parenting is a journey. It's a process. It's a journey. It's not a destination. And so there's a bit of a difference there in what we're dealing with. Now, with sacred parenting, we can be challenged normally with our biology, but if we can go within and develop those, I start to mention the inner resources, and I didn't finish, I'm sorry. The first is the inner resources for ourselves. It's the resources to connect with our child, number two, during pregnancy, so that this onboarding of the child and their soul into our family matrix is the way that it needs to be. I was going to say as smooth as possible, but and sometimes it's not meant to be so smooth for reasons that we don't know. But that it is in the way that it's meant to be. And the third is to develop some reserves, some inner reserves to actually prepare our relationship with our partner, with the family as it currently exists for this new energy that's joining us. And those are, so when we can, sometimes it's easier for professional or entrepreneurial or executive moms to kind of compartmentalize. These are the things that we need to do. And that's why I present this kind of in three different steps. But the sacredness of it really has to do with the inside work. The outer work, we know that we're going to be changing diapers. New moms these days are getting advice from mommy bloggers. They're getting advice on the latest innovations. Oh, Nada, there's so many fun innovations for babies now and young children. There are. And yet, and now with the new pull of entering the workforce with a new family dynamic going on, it's the push and the pull between results and journey. And as professional women, we've got to understand that we just went through a creation process of actually creating a human life, whether it was biological or whether it was energetic through adoption or others, because, the children were meant to find us. They usually find us, and through whatever means it might be. And I've worked with some people that the avenues are incredible, how babies came to them, non-biological. But this, having gone through this sacred creativity of creating a life, and now our inner reserves are being asked to produce in a big way in our work environment. There's a stress there and a tension that we have to both embrace, see it as separate from us, but also be able to handle it in a way that is healthful and helpful for our family and our child. And in those ways, this is all about developing our own inner processes, whether that be, Nada, through our own spiritual practice of some sort. I think I've mentioned before that the research clearly shows now, this is phenomenal research, I'm just enamored with it really, that children who have a positive and very active relationship to spirituality when they're very young, that when they become teens, they are 40% less likely to use and abuse substances. Wow. Not only that, they are 60% less likely to be depressed as teenagers. Not only that, they are 80% less likely to have dangerous or unprotected sex. And they're much more likely to have positive markers, as they call them in research terms, for thriving and for high levels of academic success. Now, if academic success is important to you and your value system, then that's something that's a piece of research that would be important. But all of these, I think, would speak to a professional new mom in particular, because we are often, as executive, entrepreneurial, professional new moms, we're looking for the best practices. When we're looking at mommy bloggers, we're looking for best practices. When we're looking at the innovative products, we're looking at which ones have been tried and tested, which ones are the ones that the other moms are recommending. So that's something that is cultivated in our professional life, so it's something we naturally do as a new mom. When we have research like this that shows a spiritual beginning, whatever that means, by the way, the research does not correlate the same to a religious childhood. This is a spiritual childhood.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. What is that? What is that spiritual practice, Kathleen? It doesn't have to be religious. So what does that look like?
So it's up to how the family defines its values. It can be its spirituality, however that is defined. It can be a personal relationship to nature. It can be a personal relationship to a higher power, such as God or the universe or angels or spirit. But in this research, it was defined as a personal relationship to this higher power that is loving and guiding. And that it has this kind of impact on a child's long-term mental and physical health is really impactful. And all moms, of course, are often interested in research, but professional, executive, entrepreneurial moms especially so, because, and I count myself in that because of